What's up guys, Jake here. In this video, we're gonna do an update for Altisource Portfolio Solutions, but I'm gonna give you a warning. If anybody leaves a comment or messages me over the next 11 months, I'm just not gonna respond to it. The reason why is if you go back and watch these videos, I told you this is a long-term play. If you want to 2x, 3x, 4x, possibly 10x your money, it's going to take 1 to 3 years. So if the share price of the company drops by 21% in 2 days or shoots up 27% over a week, I don't care. As far as I'm concerned, the 600 shares that I purchased, they're in a black box. I can't see it. I don't want to look at this share price movement. This is just what small cap stocks do if you're not experienced with small cap stocks. The market cap of this company is only $133 million. So if a billionaire who's got $13 million laying around in their brokerage account wants to buy up 10% of this stock and cause the share price to shoot up, they can do that. So this stock, on any news whatsoever, is going to just keep doing this. Going down 10%, going up 20%. This is what you run the risk of. So if you're trading this in the short term, I don't recommend you get involved with this. If you watched my prior videos and you agree with me that potentially this is a good investment for a greater than 1 year period, then just stick it out. Let's keep our eye on the price here. And the last time there was an economic slowdown, now I don't think in the near term it'll be as dramatic as it was in 2008, but this company's share price was up 1,600% over 3 years. And it's a little bit different now because Altisource, the last decade, has been aggressively buying back shares. They went from 27 million shares in existence to only 16 million. So it's like a 40% decrease. So if they can just increase their profitability in the foreclosure industry, I mean, sky's the limit here. This stock could shoot up dramatically over the next 1 to 3 years if the housing market just comes down. If you think the housing market is overvalued now and there's people overpaying for their homes, and if something happens and they can't pay their mortgage, they'll be underwater. If they can't sell it for what they paid for it because prices decline, they're going to have... I don't want this to happen. This is not, an industry that I'm trying to champion or promote here. I'm just saying it's part of the natural cycle, and this stock price to me has tremendous potential. And unfortunately, we're just not going to get that much more information from Altisource over the next 3 months. If you go to their website, Google Altisource Portfolio Investor Relations, they'll show you press releases and their last quarterly earnings statement. And their last quarterly earnings statement was on July 29th, which is only last week. So this company's going dark. We're not going to get any more financial information for over 2.5 months. So when this stock trades in the short term, it's just going to be trading on news, whatever's happening with the Supreme Court and Congress and the pandemic. And I don't want to make videos about that because I don't want these videos to trigger people. I don't want to talk about the pandemic. I don't want to talk about politics. So I'm not going to be making any more update video, guys. But let's think about this stock, and I want you guys, if you follow me, to be able to look at this chart and say, well, that's kind of obvious. Look at what happened here when the we'll zoom out here. So when the 200-day moving average finally came down and caught up to the 50-day moving average, this stock went into a death cross event. So anytime the share price got back close to, let's say, the 20-day moving average, it just bounced off it. This stock was in a free fall for 7 or 8 months, and it went from $14 all the way down to $5.85. When a stock is stuck in a downtrend, ignore it. Don't buy it. And it was consolidating sideways, but once again, it's waiting for that 200-day moving average to catch up. So on the news that the moratorium was ending, what did it do? It shot up to the 200-day moving average and bounced off of it. Went back down, punched through the 20, punched through the 100, got to the 50, and people started buying it again. It shot up again, and what did it do? It almost got to the 200-day moving average. It's now falling back down. Where do you think it's going to bounce off again, guys? It's probably going to bounce off the 100 or the 50. So it could potentially go back down to $7 before it reverses again. What investors are waiting for is for this 200-day moving average to slowly come down, and the 50-day is going to have to try and get back above it for there to be a golden cross event, and then the stock is going to be in an uptrend. Is Altisource going to go bankrupt? I don't think so, because they got this this credit line. They put out a press release saying that they secured funding for the next 3 years. So they're not going to go bankrupt, but potentially, the economy stays great the next 3 years, or the housing market only continues to go up and nobody is underwater on their mortgage and has to be foreclosed on. These are possibilities, so it's still a risky play. Those 600 shares I bought was not greater than 10% of my Schwab account, so you have to factor in risk in your portfolio. And in their press release that they put out on July 29th, they say that the default business revenue could grow and stabilize to between $230 million and $352 million between 2022 and 2023. So for a company that's only worth $133 million to potentially bring in about $300 million, that's pretty good. Now, obviously, for these press releases, they're supposed to be optimistic. They're supposed to be forward-thinking and rosy about the default business. But they also do mention the moratorium, and they say that this is a risk, that if the pandemic gets worse or there's political pressure on the executive branch and they keep extending the moratorium, then that messes up the forbearance industry. So we're not out of the woods. Now, what exactly is going on with the foreclosure and eviction moratorium? And I don't know. All these articles only talk about evictions. Those are people renting. What about foreclosures? So I Googled foreclosure moratorium. I could just Google foreclosure, and I'm not getting any useful information from Google News about specifically the foreclosure process of the moratorium. But if the CDC's ban... Okay, so what this is the Supreme Court ruled that the Biden administration, or the CDC specifically, couldn't just continue extending this constitutionally, that Congress was the only one that could authorize this to be happening in the first place. However, because the Biden administration promised it was ending, they decided not to strike it down or overrule it. So what I could see happening is a state is going to challenge this. Now, it's so weird because it's targeted. CDC will halt evictions and foreclosures. I don't know if the COVID rate for that county is high. So according to the CDC's website, they're tracking the caseload. If it spikes in a county, then they'll say in that county that evictions can't go forward. I don't know about foreclosures though. And I think what's going to happen, honestly, is the state is going to challenge this because they have Justice Kavanaugh's ruling that he said, hey, only Congress can do this. Now, the Biden administration can argue, well, it's not a blanket moratorium extension, it's a targeted one. You didn't say we couldn't do a targeted moratorium extension. But I see a state challenging this somehow, and within 3 or 4 weeks, the Supreme Court is probably going to step in and strike it down. Now, I don't think the White House wants that, and I don't think the Supreme Court necessarily wants to do that, because once the Supreme Court says it's unconstitutional, then it's no longer available. It's not an available tool to the executive branch ever again. So, politics. I don't want to talk about politics. Guys, in the comment section, please do not leave me political comments. Don't talk about the pandemic. Don't argue with other people. That's not what I want my channel to be about. So where do I see this stock going? And I see it probably going down to $7 and then going back up to $9. It's waiting for this 200-day moving average to catch up. And then as soon as there's some news, such as the Supreme Court striking down this targeted moratorium, then it'll probably shoot back up, probably like $10, $11, $12. I don't know. But this is a long-term, 1-year plus play if you're interested in getting involved. So for anyone leaving me comments or questions about this stock, let's check in on this stock in July of 2022. I'll make an update video then. Okay guys, I hope you liked the update. Until the next video, take care.